can't give you justice.
There's so much I want to say, but I don't know where to start.
All he was supposed to do was have sex with her. That was Antoinette Davis, Shaniya's own mother, weeping as she finally admitted the unthinkable, completely shattering any idea of a kidnapping. The truth, raw and brutal, was far worse than anyone could have imagined because Shaniya hadn't been snatched by a stranger, she'd been handed over as a payment for a tiny $200 debt. It all started around 6 a.m. on November 10, 2009. Brenda Davis and her boyfriend, Jeroy Smith, woke up suddenly because it sounded like someone was trying to break into their home. But then, the noise stopped quickly, leaving them in a tense silence. Just as they were falling back asleep, Antoinette burst into their room, her voice shaking with panic. "Shaniya's missing," she cried. Brenda's heart pounded as she tried to figure out what was happening. While Antoinette went outside looking for Shaniya, her young son innocently mentioned he'd seen someone else in the house just before. This made Brenda start to feel a growing sense of unease, so she begged Antoinette to call the police, but her sister hesitated, acting strangely reluctant. Brenda's heart pounded as she tried to figure out what was happening. Eventually, after what felt like a very long time, Antoinette finally made the call. Even as Antoinette was reluctantly calling, Shaniya had already been seen on a security camera at a nearby hotel. A tiny figure next to a man no one knew yet. About an hour and a half later, they were seen again as the man was carrying her out of the hotel. The very next day, an Amber Alert went out and hotel workers recognizing the little girl quickly told the police. Soon after, the man was identified as Mario Andrette McNeill, Brenda's ex-boyfriend, but just when things were starting to fit together, the situation was much darker than just a simple kidnapping. As the Fayetteville Observer later reported, Antoinette's story quickly fell apart when police questioned her many times. Her first claims of not knowing what happened changed into a complicated mess of lies. She even falsely accused her boyfriend, which led to his short arrest. But the truth, as it often does, eventually came out that the real kidnapper she finally admitted was a guy named Mario McNeill. This is how it all happened. The night before Shaniya went missing, McNeill had been home, high on drugs and drunk from liquor all evening. He then decided to start texting women, trying his ex Brenda, but her phone was off. Not long after, he got a reply from another woman who lived in the same mobile home park, and so he went to her place only to find she was asleep. He tried Brenda again, still no answer, but it didn't matter because McNeill knew how to get into the trailer. And that's when the most terrible twist happened. Surprisingly, McNeill hadn't taken Shaniya at all. Antoinette Davis, her own mother, had given her to him to cover for her $200 debt. The money she owed, turned out, wasn't for drugs, like people first thought. How the money came about was that McNeill had actually lent Antoinette $200 to help her when she and her kids didn't have a home. But Davis didn't have the money to pay him back. And when McNeill faced Antoinette, he told her he wanted either his money or sex. That's when Antoinette offered her 5-year-old daughter. After Mario's arrest, McNeill admitted he left Shaniya along Route 87 near Fayetteville, and not too long later, police quickly found the area and started a huge search. Eventually, an officer found her small body, hidden under a log, even as her autopsy confirmed the unthinkable. Shaniya had been sexually abused and finally suffocated. In May 2013, Mario McNeill was found guilty and sentenced to death for his awful crimes. And at the time, Antoinette Davis, who was pregnant when she was arrested, gave birth to a child that was immediately taken from her and put into foster care.
We just tried to, stick to the facts and stick to the case that we knew that we wanted to present. And then we felt that the result would be justice in the end, and it was.
Sure. Well, both Terry Alford and I are a little bit empty feeling right now. Certainly it's a disappointment. We talked briefly with Mario McNeill. We also spoke with his mother, who's a fine lady, and we hurt for her. As defense lawyers, we can't help but to wonder, would it have made a difference if we'd have been able to present the mitigating evidence?
But even with Antoinette's childbirth, It didn't stop her from being sentenced to 17 years in prison. It was truly a heartbreaking story. Do you think justice was properly served? Let us know what you think in the comment box below. While you are at it, kindly like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.